Welcome back. For lesson 72, we are talking about multiple unit multipliers, and your objective is written here. Make sure you get it written down. Example 1 says the Ortegas want to replace the carpeting in some rooms of their home. Okay, they know the square footage of the rooms totals 855 square feet. Okay, and since the carpeting is sold by the square yard, they want to find the approximate number of square yards of carpeting they need. Use unit multipliers to perform the conversion. So again, when we use unit multipliers, the first thing we're supposed to do is take the information we're given. Okay, so we're going to write down 855 feet squared, or square feet, and put it over 1. And now we want to convert to square yards, okay? So I need a unit multiplier for square feet to square yards. Okay, well I know that there is there's 3 feet in 1 yard. Okay? The thing is I have to make sure that my feet go on bottom of my multiplier since the feet are on top here. So I'm going to multiply this by 1 yard over 3 feet. Okay? Now, the problem is I'm not done here, okay? Because this is feet squared, and this is only feet. So that means I need another unit multiplier. So I have 2 feet labels on the bottom. So I'm going to do the same thing again, times 1 yard over 3 feet. Okay? Reason is because now feet times feet will cancel out feet squared. Okay, so these units all cancel each other. So I'm going to multiply all the numbers on top. 855 times 1 times 1. And that is 855. And if I take yards times yards for my label, that's yards squared. Okay, and that's exactly what I wanted up here. It said I wanted yards squared. So again, that comes from yards times yards. Yards squared. Over, and then I've got 1 times 3 times 3. Well, 3 times 3 is 9. Okay? And now I need to simplify this. And they want the approximate number of square yards. So that means I'm just going to round to the nearest whole square yard. So I'm just going to take 855, 855, and divide it by 9. Well, 9 goes into 85 9 times. I subtract and I get 4 and bring down a 5. And 9 goes into 45 5 times. Okay, so that's 95 yards squared. So again, I needed the 2 unit multipliers to go from feet to yards squared. Okay, let's try to go from feet squared to yards squared. Let's go on to another example. This one says concrete is delivered to a job site in cement trucks and is ordered in cubic yards. Ray is pouring a concrete driveway that's 18 feet wide, 36 feet long, and 4 inches, which is 1/3 of a foot, thick. He calculates the volume of concrete he needs is 216 cubic feet. Okay? It says use unit multipliers to find the number of cubic yards of concrete Ray needs to order. Okay, now we have to look through all these numbers they give us and figure out what is it asking us to do. Well, it says he calculated the volume as 216 cubic feet. So what he did is he took 18 feet times 36 feet times 1/3 of a foot, okay, and got this number. So this is our number that we're going to use. And we're going to take 216 cubic feet, which is feet cubed, and put it over 1. Okay? And now again, we want to use unit multipliers to find the number of cubic yards. So again, we know that there's 3 feet in a yard, but our feet need to go on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to multiply by 1 yard over 3 feet. But this time I got feet cubed, so I need 3 sets of feet on the bottom. So I need to do another unit multiplier. And that's still only 2 sets of feet on the bottom, so I need 1 more because I've got 3 up here. And now I'll be able to cancel feet cubed with 1, 2, 3 feet. Okay? And multiply the tops. 216 times 1 times 1 times 1 is just 216. And for my labels, yards times yards times yards, that's yards cubed. Okay? Which is what they're asking me for. It wants cubic yards. That means yards cubed. Okay, over, on the bottom, 1 times 3 is 3, and that times 3 is 9, and 9 times 3 is 27. And all my labels on the bottom were canceled out. So now I need to go ahead and just divide these. I need to figure out how many times 216 goes into 27. Okay? Well, 216, or how many times 27 goes into 216? Sorry, I need to divide 216 by 27. Well, 27 doesn't go into 2, or 21, and it actually goes into 216. Let's figure it out here. That should be about 8 times, I believe. Okay, because 27 times 8, 7 times 8 is 56. Carry the 5. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 5 is 21. Yep, 8 times. Okay, so that is 8 yards cubed. 8 cubic yards of concrete is what he needs. Alright, and we got one last example. And here's our last example. It says, Keisha set a school record running 440 yards in 1 minute. Okay, or 60 seconds. And they want us to find Keisha's average speed for the run in miles per hour. Okay, well, we're going to take the information they give us and set that, okay, over each other. So we're going to take 440 yards and set that over 1 minute. Now we're converting from yards to miles, okay? And we're given the conversion here. 1 mile is 1,760 yards. So the yards are going to have to go on the bottom to cancel out the label on top. So we're going to have 1 mile over 1,760 yards. Okay, but not only are we converting the yards to miles, we're converting the minutes to hours. Okay? So from minutes to hours, we know there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. Since the minutes started on the bottom, they're going to have to go on the top over here. Okay, so we need another unit multiplier. So we're going to have 60 minutes over 1 hour for our conversion. So now I've got a unit multiplier to convert from yards into miles, and a unit multiplier to convert from minutes to hours. Okay? So the yards are going to cancel out. The minutes are going to cancel out. So now all I'm left with for labels is miles over hours, which is what I wanted, miles per hour. Okay, so now I'm going to multiply the top numbers together. 440 times 1 is 440. And then I have to take that times 60. So I need to take 440 times 60. I put a 0, a 0. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 2 is 26. So I get 26,400. And my unit left on top is miles over, and on the bottom I've got 1 times 1,760 is 1,760, then times 1 again. So I just got 1,760, and the unit I have left on the bottom that's not crossed out is hours. So they could travel 26,400 miles every 1,760 hours. Well, now I just need to reduce that to find miles per hour. So I'm going to divide the top number. I'm going to take 26,400 and divide it by 1,760. So I can cross out 1 0 on each side and rewrite that problem now and take 2,640 divided by 176, and that's the same thing. Well, 176 goes into 264 once, and 14 minus 6 is 8. I had to borrow and make this 16 but then borrow again, so it would be 15. And 15 minus 7 is 8. I want to know how many times 1,000 or 176 go into 880. I'm going to go ahead and guess that to be about 5 times. Okay, because 6 times 5 is 30. If I carry the 3, 5 times 7 is 35, and carry the 3 is 38. And then 5 times 1 is 5, with another carry 3 is 8. Okay, so that is 15 miles per hour. Okay, because we got it down to 1 hour there. 15 miles per hour. Alright, and that's your lesson on using multiple unit multipliers. Happy homeworking.